that Boom Shakalaka song.
Oh, yeah.
It's on my top 100 from this last year. Of course it is. Played that a lot.
It's quite amazing.
Ask not what your voice can do for you.
Boom shakalaka.
That's nice.
Made me laugh. It's very good.
Welcome.
Thanks.
We were just talking about our Boom Shakalakas and our Spotify Wrapped.
Yeah.
Dude, Boom Shakalaka, we talked about it kind of on the podcast once or twice.
Yeah, definitely.
If you're a hardcore listener, maybe you remember. But it was both of our number one songs.
Just Max's.
Nah, was it?
Just Max's.
But we do have a Spotify blended playlist with the Haas chap.
We do.
As like Haas, like
Bros.
Yeah. Correspondence.
Yes. Brothers in Haas.
Yeah. And Mike was upset this week because Spotify told him that Black Sabbath was a me and Henry song and not a Mike song.
I was very mad at the way that Spotify has been like giving credit.
Funny because it's just been lately that I'm like, oh, I should just get into metal. And I actually only started listening to like Black Sabbath like pretty decently, like seriously 2 weeks ago.
And I've been listening to him forever.
Yeah.
No, and like today I went on.
Yeah.
And of all things, guess what I was credited with?
What? Hall & Oates?
Panama.
Oh,
I was so mad. I was like, this is only because I have a blended playlist with Max. And there's Van Halen on it.
Soul, like,
no, it was me and you.
Okay,
but
good.
I was
like,
still.
If it was just you.
And so I was like, come on, Spotify. You should know me better than this.
You should know how much I hate Van Halen.
There's only one Van Halen song, and it's the one from Twister. It's Humans Being. That's it.
Yeah, welcome to the show today.
Yeah.
I am very excited for this show. My name is Max. I'm here with my friend Mike.
What's up?
We're talking motorsports and Formula Ones and everything in between, which is
right now. We're in that in-between season.
But we have a really fun show today. I am especially excited because we get to do something I have been waiting to do for a while, which is awesome.
Okay.
And then I think we have some things we're talking about today. News. Definitely a lot of news that you told me to not look into.
Yes, there's many news.
So I'm prepared to be shocked.
Many much newsins.
And then I have a game that I've also prepared at the end of the show that's taken me weeks to put together. And when you see
life-size Guess Who with the drivers.
It's kind of a Guess Who. When you see it, you're like, this took you weeks to put together. And it's like, yes, because I forget. And I show up to the show and I'm like, oh, I want to do this game, but it takes 10 minutes of prep.
Oh, and you were like, I
can't do that right before the show.
No.
Anyway, are you ready for this fun thing I got planned?
Yeah, I'm terrified slightly, but yes, I'm excited.
Oh, I'm so stoked.
Okay.
I'll go grab it.
Okay.
I hid it in your house.
All right. Pause for everyone who's watching with me on YouTube. Okay, Max is back.
I'm back.
It was quick.
We get to do an unboxing and taste test of Almave.
Is this Lewis Hamilton's?
Lewis's non-alcoholic tequila.
His
go beyond proof.
Okay.
Distilled non-alcoholic blue agave spirit.
Okay.
Almave. It's the ugliest name. So,
okay,
are you ready?
Yeah, I've never been more ready for anything in my life.
This is going to be so fun. I hope this is a cool box.
It's already custom. Like a nice shipping box.
Yeah.
It's a corrugated brown ship box, a shipper.
Okay. I got the tape.
All right.
I'm actually super stoked on this.
I am very anxious to see.
Yeah, I bought some.
When you were at the Vegas GP, you got to taste. Well,
we went to the bar.
I don't know if
we tasted it.
Okay, so this is the first time for me.
This is for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we went to the bar where he had been serving it that day, which was cool.
Okay.
Welcome to the world of Almave.
Almave.
Ooh.
Let's see here.
I'll pull this out.
To the world of Almave.
Look at the packaging. All character, no alcohol.
Wow.
That just describes Lewis.
Yeah, he's like...
Ooh, where's the camera? There it is.
Oh.
Look at this bottle.
Oh.
Should we just be playing XNDNA while we're doing this?
Yeah. Pipe. It's a pretty fancy bottle so far.
Oh, yeah. Take that out. Open it. But shoot, yeah, I got
it.
Oh, dude.
Oh,
no.
You came prepared.
Oh, it's going far, dude. I had it in Las Vegas the way Lewis serves it up.
The way that the good Lord intended.
Yeah, Lewis, the good Lord.
Okay. All right. I'm terrified for my laptop, so I'm going to pass that to you.
Oh, yeah, I'll serve this up.
For the beverage container.
Oh, yeah. I mean, dude.
Oh, there's even...
Forget my bare hands, but shoot.
Oh, there's even ice.
Dude, I bought a special ice mold from Amazon just to get the good effect.
This is epic.
Uh-oh.
I think Henry...
Oh, there it goes. Dude, it's going far.
Oh,
I got the blowtorch.
Is that a camping torch?
Yeah. I don't know if this is what they use in the bar.
My mind right now
I
is a
hope you're
little bit
enjoying
like,
this.
I don't know what this is Mary Poppins.
Just gotta torch this. Oh, damn, that's hot. Fetch and days.
Yeah, it's a blue torch.
I'll just toast the one little bit of it. Gotta get that nice and toasty.
Okay, yeah.
Put that in there. Next slice. Well, I don't know how thick you're supposed to slice an orange for serving up spirits and making some cocktails. But that's nice and black. There you go. You need that toasty citrus flavor.
I mean, wow. So we've toasted. We've ice cubed.
Oh, yeah.
Not today is a good day.
Okay, cool. Yeah, good.
Different ice cube.
You gotta smell the cork.
It's plastic.
Ooh.
Okay. All right. A glass is being poured. Max is
There you go.
delicately. Okay. All
wait,
right.
wait, don't drink it yet. Don't drink it yet.
Okay.
I was thinking this. Oh yeah, sponsored by Almave.
Almave.
Okay, my first critique. Not a really good front. I didn't know where the front was because the front is just more.
Yeah. It kind of just looks like an endlessly broken label.
Yeah.
Kind of a bit.
It kind of does.
Yeah.
So Mike.
Yes.
This is to you. Good job on the podcast this year. A lot of people don't know that. I mean, Mike has been working tirelessly behind the scenes because Kevin is slacking. And also,
it's all Kevin.
Mike sets up all these cameras every night and built this studio. So cheers to you, Mike.
Thanks.
Cheers to the podcast.
Thanks for setting up the beverage.
You're so welcome.
Let's give this a taste.
Yeah, give it a taste. We can give your review on it.
Okay. It's not bad.
Oh, no, it's not bad, huh?
No, it's tasty.
Yeah.
It's it smells good too.
It does.
It smells like a syrup.
Yeah, how would you describe it? It smells like a syrup?
It smells like a syrup a bit.
Is that the burnt orange?
Could be the burnt orange. It could be a little bit of your flesh
Is
on
it my
the orange.
burnt flesh on the orange? I don't know which one I gave you.
Probably the better one of the two there. It's good. That's a good drink.
Yeah, it's not bad, huh?
Yeah.
It has, I mean, if I'm getting it right, it has hints of passion and oak.
Oh, okay.
And teamwork.
And
selflessness.
And men and women back at the factory.
And men and women back at the factory. They all made this.
They all made it.
Yeah, if I was to give my honest review of this, it is Still We Rise in a glass.
It is. Still I Rise. Contained within a very fancy stemless glass.
I tried to give you the mocktail experience. First mocktail I've ever made.
I mean, I think that everyone on YouTube will be impressed.
Thank you.
That you brought it with such, I mean, that no one will believe that was your first. Not a soul.
Yeah, I'm a good little chef. If you're not watching on YouTube, go to the YouTubes and watch it to see how the cocktail is made. Get your own Almave.
I'm going to go with Almave. Because it's agave.
This drink's getting me a little Lewisy goosey. Loose like Lewis. I think, does Lewis get loose before every race?
I would think so.
He takes some Almave before his drink to loosen up.
It's like, Angela, where'd you go?
Where'd you go, Angela? They're like, that's not alcoholic, Lewis.
It's
like, not doing anything.
Shut up and get me in the car. Do with my seatbelts.
Yeah, that's honestly a pretty fun way to end the year. I thought the cocktail by our mortal enemy, Lewis Hamilton. He makes a good drink. He drives a good car.
He does.
He drives well a bad car.
And when it comes down between him and his teammate, he is our favorite at Mercedes.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So if you need me to freshen up your glass anytime, it has a little like a burn aftertaste.
Yeah, it does.
Which is kind of cool. I like it.
A little
Honestly,
bit of a bitter flavor at the end, which is nice.
Like it. And I'm tempted to get the next one that comes out is the blue.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, that one has a little less oak to it.
A little less oak, more XNDNA.
Oh, good.
It's the XNDNA side.
Yeah.
This is the Lewis Hamilton, and the other one's the XNDNA.
Oh, nice. It's a split personality kind of situation.
Yeah, and then they have recipes online that call for both of them.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, which is kind of a douche move. The only recipes are like, you have to have both. Sorry,
you don't know how to mix
so
drinks.
I'm serving it up how I saw the bartender serve it up in Las Vegas.
Yeah,
Anyway.
which that's delicious. Yeah. Thank you, Max,
You're so
for
welcome.
bringing us this treat for the episode. A little bit different from the occasional liquid death.
Are we ready to step it up a notch right now?
Oh no, we're going into another layer of
Or
the
do I dare
realm
do
of
this?
Max.
Do we mix the Max Verstappen Red Bull with the Lewis Hamilton tequila?
I feel like we have to.
I would love it if I tried to pour it and it just didn't settle.
Sets on fire in front of you. The whole glass melts. Like, I don't know what just happened.
Because I haven't had my energy drink for this episode.
Oh, yes,
but
which
I think it's
Max
good to
is-
mix. This is built to mix.
Yeah, tequila, Red Bull, it's definitely.
Tequila and Red Bull. Ooh, and Mike has these cool coasters.
Oh yeah, we forgot to use those.
Here you go.
Thank you. I got Baku.
Looks like I get Circa de Spa Francorchamps.
Yeah, that was a good choice. It's a good choice.
Oh, that's a good looking drink.
There you go.
They're mixing together. It's going to kill me.
Yes. This is the end of Max as a co-host.
It's pretty good.
You're
It's
like-
better than a Red Bull.
It's
Better than an Almave.
It's a pixie stick
Together-
with a burnt piece of wood.
Together they make a good season.
Yeah, for sure. They do. They do. What is
Okay.
this? Is this 2021?
This is the 2021 vintage. It's a little hint of energy and taurine mixed with Still I Rise. The best podcast start ever.
Bono, are my tires gone?
Okay,
All right.
that was the intro.
Wow,
that's what I had prepared.
That was an incredible intro.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Follow
Yeah.
us on YouTube.
Yeah, so that way you can witness this
Yeah,
with your eyeballs.
exactly.
Eyewitness.
So yeah, up next, did you have news? I know there's been a lot of news swirling around,
There is a lot
especially
of news.
the Wolves. I don't know if you wanted to.
Hey, the wolves. The pack of wolves.
Do you call Toto and Susie wolves together?
I-
Or the Wolves?
The wolves. I
The
mean,
wolves.
it seems like wolves is because it's proper.
Yeah, I'm not the first definitely to have made that joke to them.
No, but I think that it might need to be the wolves
Yeah,
from
the
here
wolves.
on. So the wolf pack.
But I'll turn it over to you for some news.
Well, I wanted to start
Yeah.
with the reason why I decided to wear
Damn, I
my...
like having a little sippy mocktail while
Yeah.
I'm talking to you.
It's definitely a lot
classy.
classier than
Yeah.
the Maverick foam cup.
Our big 64-ounce energy drink.
Just like, gotta stay up for the podcast. But the reason that I chose to wear my beloved Dodgers
Yeah, what's up?
jacket,
Yeah.
the Dodgers have officially announced that they signed,
Nico Hulkenberg?
yes, Shohei Ohtani.
Oh,
And
I saw that in the news.
Yes. So the largest sum of money paid to I believe, a professional athlete ever.
Wow, wow.
And there's a reason that I'm bringing this up, but I'll tell you the terms of the agreement.
Okay, yeah.
It is 10-year contract
Okay.
for $700 million.
Oh my gosh.
So that equates.
We are getting close to billion-dollar contracts.
It's crazy.
Oh my gosh.
So keeping in mind, that means if you break it down,
Oh
that's
my
$70
gosh.
million a year,
Okay. Wow.
which is an outrageous
That
number.
is nuts. Yeah. Inflation.
So for the record, based on actual salary figures, to my knowledge, the highest Lewis Hamilton contract was 55 for 1 year.
Oh, so he's almost, I mean, that's
It's close.
550 million if
If
we're doing
over
it
10 year.
year.
Yeah. So, but
Wow.
Formula One has long been the record holder of who's the highest paid athlete in the world.
We talked about it early on in our show
Yeah.
with Michael Schumacher.
Michael was one of the highest
Most
paid
high-paid
athletes
ever. Yeah.
And when you talk about this same thing in reference to even Derek Jeter, who everyone, even if you never watched baseball, is a Babe Ruth, Kobe Bryant type of name, Derek Jeter, was a legendary baseball player.
Yeah.
Who only earned $266 million over his entire career.
What a chump, too.
So
what a poor guy.
When you think about this, Mookie Betts at the Dodgers is also making, I think, $350 million over 10 years as well. So he's
coming into these
$35 million a year.
Jeez.
So the numbers are staggering.
That is just insane.
But this is the first season ever that will be a carbon copy next year in Formula One.
Yeah.
Where the drivers are all staying put.
That is a crazy thing.
That is a wild statistic.
It's never happened before.
Never.
Every driver,
ever.
as they sit in their team, are going to be doing the same thing next year.
And it's the first time ever
that's ever happened. Wow.
I think it's a reflection of a couple of things. But before we get to that, the reason I bring it up in contrast to this is that almost everyone, all of their contracts expire in the end of next season.
So it's going to be opposite next year.
It's going to be the opposite at the end of next year.
Empty seats.
Yeah, it's going to be a disaster. And so
that's going to be fun.
There's only 2 drivers that I know of currently who have contracts that extend past
what
2026.
Is it Leclerc and Lando?
Leclerc and Max.
Okay.
And I'm not even sure if did Lando sign a longer term deal?
I have no idea. It seems like he's always been like
he's very
made
committed.
McLaren his home. Yeah.
Right.
But that's going to be a wild, crazy season. If we thought silly seasons were silly before,
this is going to be one of the most
wackadoo, Krusty the Clown year.
Yeah, this is bonkers season. So I have a feeling that this Ohtani deal is going to be reflected in Formula One.
Why?
Because what has Ohtani got?
I don't know.
That only 20 dudes in the world that compete in this sport can do. So we're talking that this is now it's bridged to a new whole realm.
Right.
I thought I would just bring it up because I do think it's going to play into it.
Yeah, it's wild that the money flowing through these sports franchises is insane.
It's crazy.
It's getting bigger and bigger. And Formula One teams are just getting worth more and more money.
Exactly.
Early on, we had an episode where we talked about driver salaries.
Right.
And back then, this was just like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
We were talking like, some of these lower tier drivers not making $1 million a year.
Right.
Like 500, 700,000 maybe.
All of them have eclipsed $1 million since then.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is nuts.
It's insane.
It's grown so much.
It has. And I think, again, that's going to play into salary negotiations as the sport moves into the future.
Yeah. There's Formula One cars for sale at Walmart right now.
Yeah.
So the merch is moving.
It's moving.
Yeah.
So in addition to that, one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about the carbon copy of this season's seats and driver lineup to next year, this is the first season, kind of Lance Stroll is the only paid for seat. Zhou Guanyu does bring money to the table. All of them do in some way with having a sponsorship that comes with them.
Yeah.
Like Sergio Perez has Telcel and some of these other companies. No matter what, you're still a sponsored driver. That's not like a billionaire just putting you in the seat. Yeah. Lance is the only one with that right now.
Yeah. And he's decent, man.
And he's a good driver.
He's doing pretty good.
So the carbon copy of next year is almost proof.
It's almost all skill.
It's showing that this really is the best 20.
Yes.
And it's actually happening.
We have whittled this down from everyone in the world
to like 20 really solid drivers.
Solid people.
Yeah. And I think that it's going to be even better next year.
Yeah.
We're going to see some great stuff. And again, we talked about it all season. There was less crashing. There was a lot of things that kind of showed that. Where in years past, like
we had Latifi.
I mean, I went
people
through,
like Mazepin.
Yeah, I went through and I watched a couple of like highlights from 22.
Yeah.
And I was like, I forgot all about this when like Latifi and Stroll crashed into each other during a practice session in Australia. And they just like couldn't decide who was going to go. And so they obliterated each other. And it was like, what is happening?
Oh my gosh.
And we just like don't have that right now.
Yeah, we don't. There's all very skilled drivers.
They all know what they're doing.
Yeah,
so,
and there will be no rookies.
Right.
Will this be the first like time where there's just no rookies?
Yeah, there will not be a rookie next year. Yeah.
So that's experience on the grid too. We have no
experience
on there.
It gives him maybe another shot. Logan Sargent, maybe you can win it next year.
He's not bad.
He's not. No, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Oscar kicked your butt for it this year. But,
Yeah,
you know,
the
maybe they'll
Aussies,
be
man.
like
The Aussies are crushing
second
it.
rookie of the year. Rookie of the second tier. I don't know. So, all right. Now moving on
Okay.
to the next order of business. They had the prize giving ceremonies.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I don't like,
I just saw pictures.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's about.
It's just like handing out trophies for
Yeah.
the second place man, the
Yeah.
third place man. Can we just talk about like the pretentious nature of calling it a prize giving?
It's literally called the prize giving. I thought you were just being like,
nope,
very childish for fun.
No,
it's prize.
It's called the FIA
Did you guys get some
prize
prizes
giving
tonight?
of 2023. And
Let's
it's like,
come up and get your prize.
can we just call it the awards?
Awards. That's a bit more fancy.
Yeah.
A bit more adult.
And a bit more just
It's like you earned it.
yeah, good job.
Rather than like, here's a prize.
Prize giving.
We put your name in a hat.
Yeah. You scratch and sniff, and then tell us the number you got, and we'll maybe
Liz,
hand you a trophy.
You got most handsome driver.
Yeah.
Here's your prize.
Here's your prize. So that happened leading up to the prize giving ceremony. This whole thing went awry with the Wolves.
Okay. Yes.
So you ready to talk about that? And then I will
just
arrive
to
at
cover
prize
our
giving.
tracks, I posted a statement on our Instagram.
Yes, I saw that.
Don't know what it was about. I just saw everyone posting. Everyone was copy and pasting what Haas had written.
They were one of the first teams.
And it was like just carbon pasted from there on.
Yeah.
So I did the same thing.
Yeah, you're like,
but
might as well.
If you'll tell me why I needed to do that.
Yes, well, we needed to cover our bases.
What are the Wolves up to?
So there was a rumor going around that a complaint had been filed with the FIA that there was a conflict of interest in the Wolff relationship between Toto and Susie. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, keep going.
Because they're saying that Susie, as a race series leader,
Formula Academy.
Yes, because she runs Formula Academy. Thank you for clarifying. Is given access to a lot of information about the teams because she has a breakdown. Because all the teams are sponsoring and endorsing a driver for Formula Academy. So now she has access to a lot of information about each team on the grid.
Okay, yeah. So Toto.
But she's married to the team principal of Mercedes AMG.
Yeah. Okay. Ooh.
So the trading of confidential information within the home is something that someone complained about.
This is funny on a lot of levels.
It's funny on a lot of levels. Like, what did you expect? Did you not agree to having her as the leader and endorsing a team?
Toto's talking with his wife. I have a feeling that when they go home, they're talking to each other.
And they know. They know that we're going to paint our car papaya next year.
My immediate thought was this is just the episode in The Office where Toby files a complaint against Jim and Pam for PDA.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is.
This is just...
It's exactly that.
It's just Bonotto filing a complaint anonymously, so it's not really any of the teams. They're like, who the hell filed this? And he's just mad because he's not team principal.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's just like they're always at the track kissing.
Yeah.
They talk.
It's disgusting.
And my Italian accents are always French.
It is disgusting. I can't bear it.
Such a good Bonotto.
Just Fred. I'm
Fred's here. Fred for sure.
Yeah.
But that's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so everyone was pointing fingers. It wasn't me.
Yeah. All of them had to make a blanket statement of being like, we have to formally announce that we did not make the complaint, blah, 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 putting our foot down. We support Susie Wolff.
Yeah.
And
because that's not a good look.
Yeah, definitely not a good look, especially since they're all endorsing a driver in Formula Academy. So there was a lot of backpedaling.
Right.
And a lot of the drivers and teams agreed with her, of course, and Lewis very much was on Team Susie being like, this is disgusting. How could you guys do this to her? So on and so forth.
Yeah.
Part of the reason that it blew up into what it did is because it started as a rumor. And then the FIA said, we are formally investigating the Wolves.
Oh.
The Wolff family.
Yeah. The Wolves.
What? what started as a rumor, you guys are actually going to follow through on this for what reason?
Yeah.
Okay. So it blew out of proportion. So prize giving ceremony.
At the prize.
They show up. Everyone shows up.
They words together.
They all.
It's true.
They are married.
The rumor's true. They are married.
I couldn't believe it. They are Wolff. They are a Wolff pack.
They are married.
And so they show up. Susie definitely, speaks her piece.
Yeah.
Lewis receives his third place trophy for the season, which is kind of just an FIA logo hunk of steel.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's weird.
Yeah. And left it behind.
I saw the table with that on. Serious. That was a real
just
thing.
Left it behind.
Wow.
And
didn't want his trophy.
And everyone was saying that it was to
stick it to the FIA.
Yeah, to kind of be like, hey, cool. Thanks for this piece of crap. You guys suck. Figure yourselves out. Later.
Yeah.
Lewis out.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go drink my Almave. Anyways, I thought that was a pretty funny little stab at the FIA to be like, oh, thanks for this trophy.
Yeah. Just leave it here. I already have enough. I have 7 world championships. You think I have a third place trophy?
A lot of trophies, and they're way better than this one.
And so people were also sharing pictures of Lewis flipping the birds, supposedly.
I think that one was like reading into it a little
too much.
Being like, he had his middle finger. I'm like, he was supporting the trophy in the microphone.
He's holding like 3 things. And then they catch a weird angle of his hand, like he's flipping the bird.
Yeah.
But you pair it next to the left behind trophy and everything makes perfect sense.
Team LH was on Twitter saying, and we need to ransack the FIA.
We need to go in, take Max Verstappen's championships from his cold, dead hands, and then give it to its rightful owner.
Guys, calm down. That's not what Lewis said. He was holding his trophy. Jeez.
So the championship was stolen. That's all.
Not my champion.
But Lewis accepts it with grace.
Yes. And this is 2 seasons in a row for Lewis that he did not win a single race.
Ooh.
The first time that happened was last year.
He's going to rethink this non-alcoholic choice.
Yeah, he's going to think, I need this Almave a little stronger.
I need some meat and I need some alcohol.
Moving on from that, though.
Yeah.
There's just the last couple of things. We've speculated all season. Alfa Romeo, where are they going to go? Because they said they wanted to stay in Formula One.
Yeah.
They were going to sponsor a team.
Right.
They have announced that did not go to plan.
Oh, okay.
And that Alfa Romeo will be focusing on the World Endurance Championship and plan to enter a hypercar.
So Alfa Romeo is not going to be in Formula One?
Nope.
When was the last time they have not been in Formula One? Weren't they like the oldest team? Older than Ferrari?
They have participated for a very long time, but they have had stints in and out of the sport.
Okay, but that's sad. I don't like that. I don't like seeing one of these like iconic heritage teams.
A bummer to lose an OEM,
lose
a manufacturer. And to be fair, Alfa Romeo has participated in the capacity that's more like a sponsorship than full like factory backing. They have remained Alfa Romeo Sauber this whole time, which is the Sauber F1 team with an Alfa Romeo tie.
Yeah.
They weren't the Mercedes AMG team, right?
Gotcha.
Or Ferrari team.
Gotcha.
So they have announced that they will not be returning, but they do have an interest in returning at some point.
That's good. They're not sad.
Yes,
they don't have bad feelings towards Formula One.
No, I mean they were where baby boy Charles came from.
Yeah,
right?
And they finished decent this year, or they beat Haas at least.
Yes, and to answer your question, I think Alfa Romeo's first season back was 2016, so they haven't been back that long.
Oh, okay.
So this is just again a little bit of a bummer to lose them.
Yeah,
but not the end of the world. Now the last bit of nerd news.
Yep.
The newsy nerds.
Gotcha. Last bit.
I guess this is not really news, but to me it was.
Okay.
Did you know that they're making a sequel
to Italian Job, to Ford v Ferrari?
They're making a sequel
to
Days of Thunder.
Oh, I heard a rumor and I thought it was a joke.
They're in pre-production.
Oh gosh,
on making a cold trickle.
You're gonna open up my stupid rant vaults. One of them is dumb sequels.
Yes,
but Days of Thunder is amazing.
And the Top Gun sequel was a terrible story, but it was very fun to watch.
If we can trust one person to do sequels in our day and age, it's Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise does a good job of sequels.
And I love that he can't stay out of this game.
Yeah.
Everyone's making a motorsport movie right now.
Yeah, and he's like,
Ford v Ferrari kicked it off.
He's like, Brad's
making one.
Brad's making one.
Adam Driver, Ferrari comes out in like a week or two.
I can't wait.
Stoked.
I'm so excited.
You sent me the trailer for one about Rally Sport that comes out next year that looks amazing.
Very, very cool.
Yeah, Tom definitely wants in on this.
Yeah, he's like, I won't be caught dead. Out.
He's like, I've already been driving a NASCAR every weekend.
I already know how to do this.
I already have the footage.
I already did this. I already did it.
That could be good.
Do you think
it's going to be good?
Do you think that like...
Is it Knights of Thunder?
I don't know.
What is it going to be called? Days of Thunder 2.
Days of Lightning.
Cruising into the sunset. Is Tom Cruise's name going to be in it?
Yeah.
Cruising of Thunder.
Cruise of Thunder.
Days of Cruise.
Days of Lightning McQueen.
Days of Thunder.
It's actually Owen Wilson and Tom Cruise in the movie. We're going to merge Cars and Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
It's going to be called Cars of Thunder.
It's going to be Tom Cruise talking with an animated car.
Life is a highway.
It's going to be like Roger Rabbit. Who killed Roger? Who framed Roger Rabbit?
It's just like part cartoon, part real life.
The worst sequel idea
this
ever.
This is going to be killer.
It'll probably be amazing, though.
It's going to be 98% fresh.
Well, that's cool. All right, so, I'm already looking forward to it.
That one's going to be killer. But
yeah,
to your point, there are so many great movies coming out.
Yeah.
We will do reviews.
Oh, man. It reminds me real quick, as if we're shifting.
Yes, let's shift it.
But before we shift real quick, started watching a new car movie that I had never heard about.
Driven 2.
No, called Thunderbolt.
Oh. Starring
Jackie Chan. Probably one of like the last movies he probably made before he made Rush Hour and got huge in America.
Yes.
I'm only halfway through.
Oh.
He plays a tow truck driver / mechanic that like works with the cops.
Right.
Weird. He's like a weird narc, like law abiding goody two shoes.
Narc.
He really is.
Yes.
And he gets caught up with like, he's,
okay.
I don't like him in this movie, but I love Jackie Chan.
Yeah, he's great.
So basically you mix Fast and the Furious with like Jackie Chan fighting people.
Okay.
And it's really good. Well, I'm only halfway through.
Does he drive?
He drives. There's this one scene where he's and I don't know if it's accurate at all. One thing that's good about this movie, there are really cool cars in it. It's made mid-90s.
Okay.
Like 96, I think. And so, I mean, there's a Countach, there's some amazing Porsches in it. There's lots of Japanese, really cool 90s supercars and things that they're driving around.
I feel like, isn't a Hachiroku in this? Is there an...
Do not know who that is. Oh, the guy, the AE86 guy.
The Corolla.
I don't know.
I feel like I've seen Jackie Chan with a Corolla before. So anyways, that's the only reason that makes me think
there's this one thing I'll just say where he's like shifting. And he's like in like a driver's seat in a garage, and there's like an open shifter mechanism. He's practicing shifting, and he has a stopwatch, and he's focused, and he's just like shifting, and he's timing how fast he can get through the gears.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is rad, but shifting doesn't work like that. No. It's not how fast you can go from 1 to 2, 3, 4, all the way to like 6.
Yeah.
It's just hearing the engine and revving with it.
Yeah.
So,
and like, what is this? He's like, how efficient can you possibly be with your left hand while also trying
Jackie Chan is, he's amazing.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Dude, I'm going to finish it. I'll give you a full report.
Yes.
But he is a narc in that movie.
Yeah, he's George Wrestling, peak George Wrestling.
It's Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
I might have to come and watch it.
You should. You'll come over and we'll watch it.
I only know how to count in French because I had a French math teacher.
Oh wow,
that's
weird.
She taught both, but I remember she would count papers for she'd be like, I was like, can you do that in English, please? I can't count.
Mike, you have finished reading Adrian Newey's book, How to Build a Car. Is that correct?
Yes.
And I think you have some points you want to talk about.
It was mind blowing.
You think it'll do it injustice to talk about it in the time we have left, but we'll give it a shot.
Right.
Because also I don't have the attention span to listen to you nerd out on aerodynamics.
Every detail and everything he's done in his life.
Yeah, but I'm excited to hear, honestly. Seems like an insane person.
He's such an interesting guy.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I've learned about him through this book.
In case you don't know, Adrian Newey is the guy who made the car that Red Bull just won everything with. So he designed this car, the RB19, that is now like the most successful racing car in history.
Right.
And everyone knows that Adrian Newey, he's just a brilliant man.
He's a freak of nature.
Because no one can make a car like he can.
No. I'm going to move this because it is pretty like it.
There goes our Almave sponsorship.
Now you can see the bottle, Max.
Okay, good.
You're 100% correct. So Adrian, and the reason that it was relevant to me is that I've known this about him for a long time. He is an incredible designer, and he sees things differently than people do. One of the things that you'll notice about him, if you've noticed him or if you've ever watched him on a grid walk with Martin Brundle, as we know, my favorite thing.
Okay, yeah.
You'll see him walking around on the grid with a clipboard and a pencil.
Just like a nerd.
He seriously just walks around
yeah.
And he just looks at other things.
Interesting. Yeah. I've seen that.
And he takes notes.
Uh-huh.
And when Adrian gets hit with inspiration, he will draw it on a piece of paper.
Oh, he's sketching ideas.
And then he hands it off.
Wow.
Because he's old school.
Yeah.
And so he literally doesn't know how to work a CAD program. He said that he's tried multiple times.
Oh, wow.
And he has never figured it out. And so he's like, I just draw on paper and I let my team do it.
That's, if that works.
And it's amazing that someone of his skill set can think of something and be like, oh, that would change the face of this thing.
Wow.
I'm going to draw it. You guys run it in the tunnel and let me know how it goes, kind of thing, which is the stage of his career that he is in now.
You can't.
There's no way he's crouched over at a wind tunnel all day anymore.
Yeah.
He's not doing that. Adrian is a long-time motorsport enthusiast. And his dad is a vet. But because his dad was super into cars, at an early age, Adrian had access to a full shop. His dad had a garage full of tools and things for him to kind of tinker and experiment with.
That's the best when you're a kid.
It really is, though.
And Adrian knew he was going to school with Jeremy Clarkson.
Yes. So we'll get there.
That did not rub off on Jeremy at all.
No, it didn't. But Adrian designed and made his own car before he'd even really gone to school.
Your hands are like this, like it's small, but like a big car.
He made a scale model of a real car that he wanted to engineer and design himself.
So real life size.
And just a little size.
Scale
just
model,
a little
gotcha.
Scale model.
Okay, yeah. But I know what scale means.
But one of the things that I think is insane about this is that it's like, I've built models before of existing cars with directions.
Yeah, we've done that.
Yeah. It's like, but
to do it on my own.
Yeah. And to be like, this is where I'd put the engine and all these things. Like, no, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
No way.
Crazy.
So from an early age, this dude was already an anomaly, and he loved motorsport.
Yeah.
And the engineering side of it too.
Wow. Just finding you're calling that young.
Right.
Yeah.
And as he was growing up, he did get into karting. He did race a little bit.
Okay.
But his dad made it his thing. So he was like, if you want a kart, then you've got to find the money to buy it.
Wow.
This is the way that we're going to do things. And it was hard.
Oh, yeah.
But he fought through it. He did. He would tinker and make his kart kind of have its own little things and stuff.
Oh, man. You're already crafting the world's best Formula One
car
engineer.
designer. Yeah. Right. And as you said, he found himself at a school called Repton in England.
In old England.
And two little boys who attended Repton were expelled. Their names were Jeremy Clarkson and Adrian Newey.
That's wild. That's wild.
It's amazing. And it was the same year, apparently. So both of them got expelled from school at the same time. Jeremy for other reasons that weren't listed in the book, and Adrian because he was known for being into punk rock and driving his go-kart around the schoolyard and things like that.
What a shame.
Yeah, what a shame.
Bring dishonor on Repton by driving your homemade go-kart trash around our lawns.
Do you think it was George Russell's father that reported them?
It was.
They're not behaving.
This is the house of Russell.
You think that
we do not have that Newey trashing our lawns?
we don't behave this way, Repton?
I made Whitford mow those lawns 3 times yesterday.
Think you could just drive across them?
And that's why he's not a Mercedes.
And that is why he doesn't race Mercedes. So those are the early days of Adrian Newey and the upbringing of an individual who was diehard into what he was going to become.
Yeah.
Destined. He joined March, which was a Formula One team in the 80s.
Okay.
And was kind of brought up through the ranks through like F2 and some of those things, helping race engineer and stuff like that. But the way that he got the job was a study that he had done on a ground effects road car. So not a race car, not a single seater, but just like a passenger car that had ground effects aerodynamics.
Okay.
And he showed it to a lot of Formula One teams and they were like, oh, interesting. No, we don't have space for you. And so he was like, fine.
Wow.
But then March took him in and said, oh, interesting. Cool. Okay. Do you want to do engineering at an F2 team? Okay.
Yeah.
And so he got kind of thrown in. And then in those first few years was sent to the US to work with Bobby Rahal in IndyCar, which was the kart series. Now we've talked about this earlier.
That is an American racing name.
Yes. Bobby Rahal. Rahal, Letterman, Lenigan,
if there's a Bobby Rahal
Jr.
That's the only way it could get more NASCAR.
His name isn't Bobby, but there is a Rahal still. Graham.
Okay.
Bobby's son Graham races. So anyways, so he works with Rahal and has some pretty good success. The car is fast and does a lot of race engineering and things, but he's learning about oval racing, which is brand new to him because he'd been doing
street circuits,
road courses, stuff like that. And so ballast and moving weight around in the car to be able to perform on oval circuits. And he's like, this is very different and very weird. Has good success. The car that he designed and built for the 1985 season carried over to 1986, but he was hired by another team and went to work with none other than Mario Andretti.
Hey, we've heard that name.
Right. And so had everyone in England by that point because he'd already won a Formula One championship.
Oh, okay. By this
time in his career.
Gotcha.
So this is 1986 that he's working with.
And he's in
Mario.
IndyCar.
Yes, he's back in the States racing a kart. At this time, Mario Andretti races for Haas.
Wow.
Newman Haas is what it was called.
But it was still Gene Haas?
It was a different Haas. So this is where, remember we talked about this, how there was somehow the same family name
that is crazy.
Has had 2 different racing teams, which is really wild.
That is crazy.
So Newman Haas was Paul Newman's team.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so on a number of levels, this was already a very cool experience.
Oh, yeah.
So he has some stories about hanging out with Paul and some of the things that were very interesting nature of Paul, but just how he was actually a very genuine and very nice person.
Nice.
But getting to know Mario he calls Mario a very tough cookie is the way he describes it.
Interesting. Why?
Because
so I just recently listened to the Mario Andretti Beyond the Grid interview.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And why is he hard to work with?
No, he wasn't a hard to work with person.
What did you say?
He's a tough cookie.
He's the old tough cookie. Why? Tell us.
Because he was unfazed by anything.
Okay.
Injury, accident.
Oh.
Unfazed.
In his Beyond the Grid interview, he talks about his friend and partner that died.
Yeah, losing
like his teammate. Other second driver. Yeah, his teammate died racing in Formula One.
Right.
And they asked him, how did you get past that? How did you keep driving after your teammate died? And he said, I just couldn't think about it.
Couldn't dwell on it.
Yeah, you can't dwell on it. Put your mind past it and don't dwell on it.
It couldn't happen to me.
And he says, that sounds kind of callous. And he's like, it is. He's straight up, it is.
He's like, it might not make me look very good, but it is what it is.
You have to do it.
Right.
And so that makes sense.
It was interesting to hear him talk about it. He said that he had an accident where they were watching, again, I'm not doing it justice.
Yeah.
But he was watching him go around the circuit. And he said that as he was heading into the corner, they hadn't fitted a radio to the car yet because it was a new car they were testing.
Okay.
And he was like, for some reason, not thinking why that would be dangerous. And so he was like, it's fine. And as he came around one of the corners, the spoiler had fallen off and it was like leaning on the ground, scraping.
Oh, wow.
Oh, someone radio Mario tell him that the wing broke. The wing's broken.
Wow.
And they realize they don't have radio. And so Mario's sending it into the corner like the car has full downforce.
Yeah, I guess all capabilities.
And he's like, and all you hear is just boom, boom, just like big hits. And he's like, oh no, I've killed Mario Andretti. Like Mario Andretti, he's dead. You know, like, oh no. And he said they come around the corner in the car, terrified of what they're going to find.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just parts everywhere, tires, engine pieces, things everywhere. And they're like, where's Mario?
Mm-hmm.
And they get out of the car and they're looking for him and he comes like up out of a ditch and he's tapping his watch. He's going, effing thing. And they're like, what? And he's like, damn watch broke. And he just got in the car and drove away.
Wow.
And they were like, what? Car's scattered to bits. There's nothing left. And he's complaining about his watch.
Jeez.
And he's like, so Mario was one tough cookie.
Yeah, that's wild.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah.
This is the reason that I do want to get into this, because I think it later will tee us up into some conversation further about the Andrettis.
Yeah, I'm excited for that.
My perception of Michael Andretti is interesting.
And he is a driver now?
Michael is...
Or followed his dad?
He followed his dad. He had a short stint in Formula One.
Okay.
And did race in IndyCar for a long time.
Okay.
And Adrian's... He described it as an ultra competitive relationship between the two of them.
The father to son competitiveness.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And
normally it's like brother to brother.
Not usually father to son.
Father to son. Yeah, your father's like, well, I'll be your mentor.
Yeah.
I'll look after you.
I'll punch a
follow
table.
in my footsteps.
I'll punch pit people.
I'll place all my failures on you so you can live up to them and accomplish them for me.
I'll leave you at gas stations when you don't perform. Sorry, did I list too many Jos Verstappen things? I didn't mean to. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
That's the ideal relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Clearly, that builds world champions. But Adrian comes back to Formula One.
Okay,
that's when he joined Leighton House, which
weird
is
teams we've never heard of.
Leighton House was March, so the team that he was helping, had changed names and had to purchase from another person.
Crazy. Okay,
and. So Leighton House goes under. He's terrified. He's like, I'm never going to get another job.
It's like
again.
A driver.
Yeah.
There's so many seats.
Right.
And technical engineers. There's so many teams you can work for.
Right. And aerodynamicists and whatever. And a lot of the guys in Formula One at the time weren't really sure if aerodynamicists were worth their time.
Oh my gosh.
Right? Because it was so new. It was such a new science to everybody.
Yeah, they just put seatbelts in there too. We were still figuring out that these cars were going fast.
Drivers sat in fuel tanks. They were surrounded by gas.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a terrifying time to be a race car driver. Patrick Head was the lead engineer at Williams.
Okay.
And he knew Adrian from the paddock.
What year is this about, roughly?
This is 1991.
Okay.
And again, Leighton House March has disappeared off the map. And Adrian is going to lose his gig.
And from what I know, Williams is about to pop off.
And they were good. They were one of the best teams at the time.
Yeah.
Even though McLaren had their stint of very strong successes. Patrick had recognized that Adrian had something. And he said, what do you say? Why don't you come to Williams? Why do you come to Williams?
Wow.
Adrian goes to Williams. We know that Adrian develops a car. Nigel Mansell wins the championship in the FW14B and is
has Adrian Newey just been behind every good car?
It's kind of insane.
Except for maybe Michael Schumacher at Ferrari.
Yeah, which is, a bunch of people who ended up at Mercedes. So
wow.
So
this is like, this is the prequels to this season we're watching.
It is kind of Star Wars episode 1 through 3.
Yeah, exactly. This is where the Emperor came from.
Right.
And this is where the Jedi Order went.
Totally.
That's wild.
Yeah.
So he was at Williams and helped get them a couple championships.
Yep. And unbelievable run with Williams and lots of respect between, him and Patrick Head and Frank Williams. During his time there, though, the crash and the tragic accident that killed Ayrton Senna was with Williams and in Adrian Newey's car.
Ooh.
And so this is the dark phase of his career.
That's such a hard thing to deal with in your career.
And such a hard thing to deal with mentally.
Yeah. But if you're designing fighter jets and rocket planes and Formula One cars,
like these things are dangerous.
People are gonna get injured.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and an interesting part of that is that in Italy, they have murder or suicide.
Ooh.
But there is no accidental death in Italy.
Because the mafia, they know.
If someone,
there's no accidental deaths in the mafia.
Yeah, exactly. But there's only two options, which means that Senna's accident had been ruled a murder by the Italian courts.
What? Keep going.
And
this is in Imola.
And this is
the Italian Grand Prix.
Imola, 1994.
Jeez.
Senna's death is considered a murder.
Oh my gosh. I'm laughing because it's insane.
Absolutely insane. Adrian Newey goes to court 3 times.
For murder?
3 times he was tried for murder in Italy.
Had put TNT in that car
like
and
he
knives?
Intentionally broke things so Senna would die.
Holy cow. Okay, keep going.
3 times. Over the course of 10 years, he had to go on Italian trial. Right. You would think that they would know.
How many people have died racing in Italy?
A ton.
And all of them, all those like team principals are in jail.
Right.
On death row?
No, they're not.
They're dead because they got executed.
And this is part of the reason. This was one of the things that Adrian accused his accusers of. Because Roland Ratzenberger was another driver who died that same weekend.
Oh my gosh.
And his case was thrown out. Is that there was no evidence that anyone had done anything intentionally.
Wow.
And so, therefore, it wasn't murder.
Yeah.
But because Senna had won as many championships as he had and was not a Ferrari driver and had, made the Italians hate him.
Oh, wow.
And also that his name was hugely successful in the sport.
Yeah.
That they were going to target
this country,
Adrian Newey, as somebody to pay the price for.
Oh, my gosh.
To be like, oh, well, this was going to make the lawyer who was attacking him famous. It was going to be one of the most famous lawyers in Italy and all these things. So, but here's the gnarliest part of this.
This is so gnarly already.
So during this process, Patrick Head comes to Adrian Newey and says, no hard feelings. I had nothing to do with the design of the car, and walked away.
Whoa.
And so Adrian takes full responsibility. The entire responsibility for the car.
I've never seen this car before.
I don't know what engineering is. I've never heard of this that you speak of.
My name's Patrick Head. I don't even know who William is.
Who's that?
Anyway.
I don't know this Frank Williams guy.
See you, Adrian.
So I'm just here to go to get Prada.
We're going to Prada after this, Adrian, if you're available.
Do you like?
Not likely. Because I didn't know what the hell's going on with that car.
We won't plan on catching you there.
What a douche.
Unbelievable.
That is crazy.
And after the success that they'd had with Adrian, this was like a unbelievable stab.
Oh my gosh. We've talked about how Williams is the worst.
Yes. And he actually defends them through some of this time, but turned on him.
Yes.
And they've had all this success leading up to this point.
My goodness.
And they just are willing to write him off, being like, oh, well, like we have nothing. We have nothing to do with that. We don't know what you did, Adrian. You're a weirdo. You designed spaceships. We don't know anything about that. But
holy cow.
So Adrian deals with a ton of crap, but this has obviously soured his relationship with Williams. I mean, it's already bad enough that Senna, a legend
has died in a car that you designed.
Right.
That's
He's
heartbreaking.
Already holding on to a lot emotionally, mentally over losing Senna. So his time at Williams comes to an end.
Yeah. Holy crap.
And Ron Dennis from McLaren is very, very keen on hiring Adrian.
Gotcha.
And so he leaves and he goes to McLaren because
then does McLaren win championships with
Mika Häkkinen? Yes.
Adrian Newey coming in clutch again.
He defeats Michael Schumacher at Ferrari.
Can we just give him all the awards?
This is part of the reason why this is so crazy.
And then
is that he's moved teams, and every time he moved teams, championship. This guy
should be the highest paid guy in Formula One.
And it's likely he is.
Oh yeah. Holy cow. And then when he goes to Red Bull after that.
Right. So from McLaren, he's there from 97 to 05. He has a pretty long stint with McLaren, but his description of Ron, and we're going to have an episode just on Ron someday.
Okay, yeah.
but he's basically the most OCD, wants people to worship him, wants extreme loyalty out of people.
Yeah.
Kind of guy. So the way he described Ron, I was like, I would never have worked at McLaren.
Yeah, sounds awful.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
So he leaves and goes to Red Bulls.
So he gets talking to Christian Horner.
Interesting.
And leaves. Dietrich Mateschitz, as we've talked about, the co-founder of Red Bull.
Yeah.
Has a meeting with Adrian and they talk numbers. Red Bull was brand new team.
Yeah.
Brand new. They had just bought the team.
Wow.
And he gives him the number that he's getting paid at McLaren. And Dietrich goes, what? No. Never. No.
Yeah.
And apparently he called...
like that's too much.
Like there's no way we could afford that. There's no way we would pay someone that much money.
Yeah. I thought you mean like they're undervaluing you.
No. And then Gerhard Berger, who is the
names that you're throwing out are insane.
Gerhard Berger is actually
legendary names for a movie.
For sure. And Gerhard is the father of Daniel Ricciardo's girlfriend.
Gotcha.
And he's a Formula One driver.
I'm telling you, prequel characters are showing up all over the place.
And they're great. They're so good. We will dive into these characters later.
Yeah.
But Gerhard Berger convinced Dietrich.
Wow.
And said,
holy cow.
You want to win a championship, you hire Adrian Newey.
And then what? Did they just win Sebastian?
So
then he took a break.
Braun GP so those first couple years were rough.
Yeah.
Figuring things out. Then Braun GP wins a championship.
Yeah.
And then Sebastian and Mark Webber.
And then Sebastian dominates.
4 years.
And then
And then Mercedes goes into the period of extreme dominance.
And now we're back to where we are. And Adrian Newey's here again.
Adrian's back on top.
What an insane career.
Unbelievable career.
Yeah.
The names of the people that show up in the story, though, are like Jeremy Clarkson. George Harrison was one of Adrian Newey's best friends from the Beatles, for those of our listeners who might not know. He's a guitar player of the Beatles.
If you don't know, then do your homework.
Don't listen to me.
Yeah. Get out of here, dummies. So, he's behind you. He's right up there behind your head.
There's actually, and the reason that I have put George up on the fender is because I know he was a motorsport guy. He loved F1.
I mean, the name of the title is All Things Must Overpass.
All Things Must Overtake.
Overtake. All Things Must Pass.
And Adrian Newey's son is named Harrison. So he was...
That's crazy, man.
But and then here's the last bit of it.
Yeah.
Adrian rekindled his love for motorsport later in life and still races. So he's raced a GT40, which he totaled at Le Mans on Mulsanne. So he had a really gnarly accident. He survived.
Wow.
And raced an E-Type Jag.
That's cool.
So he's very much still involved. And obviously we know he's incredibly successful now. And always has been.
It all makes sense. There's just little things here and there that like lead to the reasons why he's so great and the cars have been so great. Like someone who's an engineer and designer who's also like dabbling in racing cars knows what to do because you're racing them.
Right.
It's like, Martin Scorsese, I think, has acted. Like great directors know what the actors need.
Totally.
That's amazing. That track record reminds me of like Phil Knight, like the coach.
Right.
Just this guy kind of like you don't think of as part of the team necessarily because he's not out there doing the sport on the TV, Right. You see him on the screen. You see him at the grid walk.
He's not the slam dunk guy.
Yeah, but man, he is the thread that holds all those championships
he's the
together.
Fundamental
That is crazy.
Piece. Right.
That is crazy. Yeah. Well, thanks for listening to the episode today. Sponsored by Almave.
Almave.
But if you haven't already, like us, subscribe to us, follow us on Spotify, YouTube, watch us pour these lovely drinks.
Yes.
Follow us on Instagram,
TikTok, Reddit.
I think
our
Reddit, but
Reddit needs to be updated.
It's but like Threads, X, Twitter.
We're all over it.
We have a lot of fun stuff coming up. Once again, thank you for joining us.
Well, we appreciate you guys.
And then send in questions.
Oh, yes.
fastones.us@gmail.com or send us messages on Instagram. We'll get them answered.
Definitely. Thank you guys so much.
Okay. Peace.
One small
podcast.
I made Whitford mow those lawns 3 times yesterday.